If you're like me, payroll, benefits, and compliance will give you a headache unless you've got Deal. Deal PEO makes hiring in the U.S. simple. And right now, just for being a You Should Know podcast listener, you can get up to 3 months free at deal.com/workdefined. That's DEEL.com/WRK define.
I've never put up Christmas lights outside. I've had this house for 25 years.
So Ring's rolling out what they call familiar faces, which is a feature that runs facial rec on everyone that walks in the path of the camera.
Meanwhile, men with income differences are most likely to say it's expectations about who should pay for what. 54%.
Pay to run these surveys.
This is Lending Trick. Jeff Bezos reportedly returns to the trenches as co-CEO of a new AI startup, Project Prometheus. I want to get from here forth, probably in the next 2 or 3 years, I want to get away from anything tactical.
But for hiring and interviews, they weren't quite there for me. So I think this acquisition, I think, is really, really good.
I'm interested in who acquires Zoom, because I think it's going to be Microsoft.
What is going on, everybody? Ryan Leary and William Tincup here with another episode of the BARF. William, it's a busy week. How are you?
You know, the holidays, I mean, we went through with travel August to November. It was crazy, right? Because you travel 1 week, then you got to like do work, travel, this, that, and the other. And then we're upon the holidays. And I'll tell you what, the holidays fly. I mean, normally they fly, but it seems like this year, it seems like there's only like 8 hours in the day. And
you have all your decorations up?
No, I think Michael likes to do that stuff after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And as Catholics, I think it's a kind of there's a time period, but we don't really follow it. We don't really follow that.
That's what Erica does. She's like, no, after Thanksgiving, all the neighbors have their stuff up. I went out. I put the lights up with the girl. Well, actually, I'm lying. The girls put the lights up this year.
As they should.
I played the game of, hey, you guys do a really great job.
Yeah, a little bit to the left. A little bit to the left.
Yeah, they put all the lights up, and it was warm. It was like 65 degrees, 70 degrees, and so now it's cold. It's in the 30s, 40s, and all the neighbors are out there.
Oh yeah,
putting their shit up. And I'm like, we're done. I haven't turned them on yet.
I'm gonna cop to this, and the audience will find it funny or disturbing, whatever. I've never put up Christmas lights outside. I've had this house for 25 years. Nah.
Are you the neighbor that shuts their light off on Halloween too?
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, this year we had a football game, so I mean it was a little bit different. But yeah, I did Halloween the first year that we lived here, and I spent about $100 in candy, and there was one person that came to the door the entire night.
So you just said, fuck it, we're done forever.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. You burned me once, baby. I'm out.
Yeah. So we in home front news, we got another college acceptance today.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. Well, not for me. I'm not going back to school.
Yeah. No, ever.
Yeah. So that's cool. We got that in.
Which one? What was it from?
So she's got university. She only applied to 3 or 4. So actually, she's applied to a bunch. But the only 2 she got back so far was University of Delaware and Westchester. Which is good. Still waiting on a number 1, Penn State, but they won't let her know until December time frame. But But
well, I'm just glad FAFSA's back up and running because the government shutdown.
She's glad because she'll be taking some loans.
That's good point. But it just like yesterday, you could call and they would answer your phone call. Before that, with the government shutdown,
they're not answering your call. It's just wait times are longer than expected.
It's not me, it's you. Or actually, it's you.
But do you know what this week is?
I do not.
Of course you don't, because in your part of the town, Nobody gives a shit what this week is. However, in Philly, this is what we call Dallas week. So I'm wearing,
Ah,
if you didn't even notice for
I
like
did.
the
I did.
entire day,
I did. I
you
noticed.
didn't say anything. Okay.
No,
Okay.
there's no need.
Yeah.
I like the Eagles
Yeah.
because there's like 6 Alabama players on the Eagles.
Yeah. 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 Well, then I guess I can play this for you, right? And you're gonna sing it for me, right?
No,
No,
I'm good there.
you're not gonna sing it.
Uh, no, I love that I love that they've recruited, drafted Alabama players, and Jalen Hurts being one of them, but Devontae and I love those guys. Like I've followed them like through their high school career and scouting and all that stuff, and so like you know just because I don't because I like college football more than pro. I care where these guys get placed. So
Yeah.
I like watch the draft not because of I
Yeah.
care about the Saints. I care about like where does that guy go?
Mhm.
Because if you place more, typically if you place more kids into the NFL, you get better recruiting.
Hmm.
Like that's
Yeah.
college football 101, right? If
Yeah.
you're pumping a ton of talent into the NFL, they want to go to your school not because maybe they love your school,
Yeah.
but they see you as a pathway to the
Yeah.
NFL.
Yeah. Either
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
it's
but
gonna be a tough game this week, though. I'm kind of a little nervous on it, but
uh,
we'll see. We'll see. But for anyone wondering why am I all eagled up and wearing a dirty hat, that's because this is the lucky outfit, and so
that's right.
we're gonna just wear it all week and see what happens.
That's right. All right, let's talk about the week.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me do this bit. I like you. I went through the week and kind of like tilted my head at some stories, and I wanted to kind of because I won't speak for you. I use a lot of the same kind of reference points, source material, and kind of got bored with it. And so I wanted to kind of start using a little bit different ones and like find something that's outside of HR that's interesting, but apply it to HR.
Mhm.
And then with the BARF, having something inside of there that's actually relatively interesting as well. So let me start with the made me think, the one that was story of this week that was really did tilt my head a little bit, and it's Jeff Bezos
Mm.
reportedly returns to the trenches as co-CEO of a new AI startup, Project Prometheus. And you can find this story on TechCrunch. It is a big deal. And my first question is why? Like, why, why? He's, everybody because you got a lot of
Mhm.
paper money, right? He's worth about $250 billion, so a quarter of a trillion. Okay, so why would you get a job? So that's the and then okay, why would you do that? And it made me think like, is this about for a person like Jeff? I don't know him, but let's just call him Jeff. For a person like Jeff, is it about money? Is it about legacy? The question for us, the audience, is if we could switch places with let's say Jeff in this instance, would we take on a new job? And I dug into it with Project Prometheus. It's a job. This isn't an investment. This isn't a passive income. No, he's going to be going to work, and I can't imagine him working a 35-hour week. So this is a job, and I'm not hating on Jeff. I just don't understand what it's like to be that driven or well known or rich. And so when I look at the story itself, I'm like, okay, let's bring us back to work for a minute. Is this leadership, it's ageism, it's retirement, they all come to mind with this story? And I'll explain with leadership, is he trying to recreate some of the magic he had at Amazon? Like, is that the bit? Is like,
No.
okay, I learned some things. Maybe I'll be better at, or maybe I won't do that, like whatever. Um, or is he just like, with Amazon, he had all of this energy and now he doesn't know where to put the energy. So he goes back to something that, you know, is it about mentoring? Like, what is the bit? Like, why would you do that? So that's the leadership part. that I'm thinking about with ageism, because I've talked to a lot of people lately about ageism, and everyone's got kind of cool ideas. I talked to Steve Goldberg yesterday about it, and it's like it's interesting because you kind of have a bell curve of value. Uh, and early in your career, you're really not valuable. Late in your career, you're perceived as not having much value, and that could be applied to the early as
Mhm.
well.
Same as sports.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. That's actually a great a way to look at it from a sports perspective. Is like, Eric Dickerson, one of the best running backs ever. Yeah, at one point you got to stop.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, and then so like when I think about age, the dude is shredded. I don't know if you've ever seen him with his shirt off, but like,
Well, I
there,
don't Google him, but yeah, I've seen
dude,
him. Yeah.
yeah, shredded, looks great. He's 61 years old,
Yeah.
so he's not. I don't think that's old, and he's crazy rich. And will he be viewed as older and wiser, or just a dude that can't walk away from the action?
It's going to be viewed as Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, but
I mean,
within that, yeah, I get it.
yeah.
So, it's just one of those things when you apply the filter of age. Okay, what are you getting with the filter of age? And okay, is it diminished value at one's life, like, or is age the number of age? Is it just a number? And Steve and I went through this the other day, and it's like it's a number. You can be 80, but play like or work like a 60-year-old,
Hmm.
or you can be a 60-year-old and work like and play like an 80-year-old. And so that's been going on for a long time. So he's 61. Have you ever thought about a number when you would be retired? And let me put it this way: the number is, I'm thinking about it in two ways: age, like at 80 or 64, whatever the bid is, I'll be retired or I'll retire, or by dollars. So I don't personally have a retirement age. I'll die in the fields. I don't care. I want the work to be exciting and fun. I want to be healthy enough to add value. So there's some basic things that if I'm diminished, I'll take myself out of the game. But if I'm not diminished and it's still fun, I want to do it. But I want to get from here forth, probably in the next 2 or 3 years, I want to get away from anything tactical. I just don't want to touch anything, Excel, you know,
You don't do that
anything that's
now.
tech. Yeah, well, but I want to do it even more. I want to get away all the
But maybe
way.
less, yeah.
I want to get
Okay.
all the
No,
way away from tactical.
I don't no, I don't have a number or an age. I think, what you're looking at here is people that are at that level of success are wired differently.
Yeah,
Right? And it's not just a matter of, it's not the crap you see on. I don't think this isn't like the influencer crap you see online. Like, oh, it's the journey, it's this, it's
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
they're just wired differently, right? Like we're all kind of this way.
Zuckerberg's been doing Facebook for over
Yeah,
20 years.
yeah.
Like,
There's, I mean, but even non-successful people are this way, right? Like they're wired in a way. Not everybody just wants to retire. Now, my mom, she counted down. Day she
oh yeah,
retired, she stopped
mine did
working.
too.
Like that
Mine
was
did
it,
too.
right? I don't have I don't have a number that to
Hmm.
retire. I think I have an age by which I want to be financially sufficient to never have to work,
Right,
right? Because you
right.
never know, as you get older, shit happens, and you get in your 80s, you need to survive. So,
I have a number, a $10 million net number that I've had for a couple of years now. That basically at $10 million net, not gross.
mhm.
So for those at home keeping score, that's net. That's in the bank. Um, at $10 million, I'd probably work part time and paint more. So I'd shift because painting's a hobby for me. The money is there, but it's not an age.
Mm,
It's not an age, but so I think getting to same thing, but it's like I'd still work. Like I'll still
yeah,
work until I can't because I've seen too many people in my family, not dealing with other folks, but in my family, when they retire, they die.
yeah. They retire, they stop working, and they become dead. They
So I
visually,
I got to keep
physically,
moving.
everything.
I gotta
Yeah,
I gotta keep moving. I gotta keep the dust
yeah.
off of me. But if something were to happen and $10 were to end up in my bank account, I would definitely work towards part time and
Yeah.
maybe get a open up a gallery,
Yep.
or but I would do something different. But anyhow,
Yep.
Jeff Bezos joins a new creative, probably creates, joins a new company, and I mean, I'm interested to see where he goes with it, of course, but it made me think about all these other things in HR.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. There we go.
there you
All
go.
right. So I've got one here. It's funny because this is tied to Amazon as well.
Huh.
The legal case against Ring's face recognition feature, right? So there's a legal case, of course, it's
Yeah.
facial rec. The this story is pretty wild to me. So Ring's rolling out what they call familiar faces, which is a feature that runs facial rec on everyone that walks in the path of the camera,
I
right?
could see this going sideways
Yeah,
so fast.
pretty quickly. So it stores their face print for up to about 6 months or so,
Okay.
even if you've never consented. So,
Wow.
so,
Okay.
here's the deal, right? So everyone's got, not everyone, but a ton of people have Ring camera or
Yep.
other cameras, right? Here's their fear. So Ring has a close partnership with authorities. So if your city's dense with facial rec cameras, the entirety of a person's movements essentially can be tracked
Right.
with a click of a button, right? So think of it, you're on a move, you're going down street A, you make a right to street B. Like all of this is tracked if everybody has cameras, which they do, right? They
Hmm.
pretty much own that
And you're
market
over your garage. There's
everywhere.
multiple. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 everywhere. So, but wait, there's more. There's more. We got more. I
But
need a
wait,
sound
you
effect.
got
But
to
wait,
do it like
there's
that. But
more.
wait, there's
There's
more.
more. Amazon has already announced a tool called Search Party. This is actually pretty neat, right?
Hmm.
So, Search Party can identify and track lost dogs using the neighbor's cameras. So, this isn't something that we're saying like this could happen. No, it's happening. It's just happening with dogs, right? And
Huh.
so if you lose Fido, you can find Fido across a network of 50 different Ring cameras in your neighborhood to
Find
see
my dog.
which yard he's hopping.
Interesting. I,
So
c- I can see that also turning sideways very
yeah,
fast.
of course you still got, yeah. So now this can be repurposed for law enforcement to track
Yeah.
people, right? Which
Well,
gets
that gets into a real weird area with the first one and the second one, because the back doors that the CIA, NSA, FBI, etc.
Mhm.
have to these technologies
Yeah,
is they've got their own way to get into that data, and they're aggregating that data
yeah,
with all this other data.
yeah. They don't have access to this yet, but they will. I mean,
Oh,
it's there.
right.
So, but this, I guess it kind of gets me to the point of how this can and has already affected people in work, right?
Right.
Face recognition, it's has a ton of issues, right? We've seen
Yeah.
multiple lawsuits, right? It's got a ton of error rates with certain groups of people, most prominently dark-skinned women. We've seen that.
Hmm. Yep.
We've seen similar tech is
Because it
also
creates a bias. So
yeah, it
facial
does.
rec,
But we've
as
also
it
seen
is.
we've also seen issues with facial rec and video interviewing.
Oh yeah.
We've seen that we did a this is 3 or 4 weeks ago, or maybe a little longer, the ACLU versus higher review, right?
Hmm.
So this is in 2025 for failing to recognize that the person was using sign language, and they just thought the person was being erratic, and they're using ASL, and it wasn't able to pick that up, right?
Oh, you have Tourette's?
Yeah, so
My
this is
bad.
so this it's a serious thing, and and so now we've seen this in hiring, we've seen it. It's obvious we knew this was happening. We see them on cameras and all that, or traffic, stops and all that stuff. But in work, it's getting closer to having these types of
100%.
surveillance in the building, not just for security, but
Right.
for there's other productivity standards that people are talking about, right? Following you from your path to the break room or to the
Just connected.
bathroom.
Yeah, it's just connected video to where you can see everything about them other than the bathroom.
Yeah, yeah,
You can
and
see
there's well,
everything.
and other
Yeah,
companies are using this in different ways, right? They're using it so they can track steps, number of steps, efficiency,
right.
productivity, and office layout. There's other things they can do for
Yeah,
you. They don't need
yeah.
camera to do
No,
this.
no.
But
You could do that with just a steps counter.
yeah,
I mean, if you're really interested in steps,
yeah, there's a lot of way. There's another
there's ways.
thing. There's a smart earring, which I was going to talk about, but I didn't talk about. But I'll talk about it real quick. There's a smart earrings by Lumina. You,
Hmm.
you wear the earring, and
Yeah.
it tracks everything that you're doing, and
Does
it
it also track all your speech, like what you
no,
say?
it track no, but it tracks the blood flow to
Oh, okay.
yeah.
More health related. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, it tracks your blood flow, but it also now it tracks awareness and your ability, your cognitive ability at certain times of the day. So
Oh,
in the work
I don't hate
environment,
that.
no, so in the
Yeah.
work environment, think of it like a salesperson, for example. So a salesperson, okay, well, should I be making my calls at 2 o'clock in the afternoon if my earring says, well, you're pretty tired right now. You're not getting the blood flow. So get up, walk around, do this, and when my flow is there, my serotonin's there,
Right.
boom, kick in,
Well,
get
I
back and
mean,
get to work.
you've created a custom GPT to help you with your health and weight, and just
Yeah.
basically just make you a better person health wise. And so you put in data. It then Kevin, then just kidding. It then asks you questions and you answer, like it's going back and
Yeah.
forth. It's recommending to you what to do. This is it's interesting to me because I think those things, especially what you've created, is helpful to
Hmm.
you and it's individualized to you. And I think, I wore a Samsung smartwatch for years, and I only used one feature. I didn't use the watch. I used the
Hmm.
sleep study stuff. So it would tell me all. I mean, it was deep with
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
about sleep, and so I love that
Yeah.
because I might wake up and know that I'm tired and feel like, but then it would actually tell me why I was
Hmm. Yeah.
why I was tired. So I like that.
Yeah.
Now the first two parts of this are interesting to see how people misuse them because using them correctly, like the ring thing and helping you
Mhm.
find your dog, like okay, I can
You
see
can
that.
find your kid too. I
Dude,
mean,
put an
there's a lot of use
Apple
cases
ID on
for it.
them. Yeah. Well, you can do that with what is it, Live 360? So you can find your
Well,
kids.
that's assuming that the kidnapper didn't toss their phone and break it, right? I mean, the
Just
Ring cameras,
can you?
I don't hate it. I just don't want to be on these cameras anyway.
Oh yeah.
Whatever, man.
All right,
Yeah.
let's get to a couple BARF items real quick. And this is the R research for me. And I got to read this to you because it's well, I don't want to set the expectation. So just there it is.
Uh,
Okay, about 1 in 4, 25 actually says 24% couples with income differences experience frequent or very frequent conflict as a result. Men are more likely to report tension very often or often 32% than women 14%. Of those who report at least some tension, women with income differences are most likely to say the main source is spending and saving style conflicts. Meanwhile, men with income differences are most likely to say it's expectations about who should pay for what.
who gets paid to
54%.
run these surveys?
This is Lending Tree. So this is all according to Lending
Jesus.
Tree. So you can go to lendingtree.com and you can find the thing. So the first thought as I read this is Taylor Swift. And I'm not a Swiftie. I don't know, love those that are, but I'm not. Um, and it's fascinating to watch that play out because, she's crazy rich. I don't think Mr. Kelsey is not that rich. I mean, I don't think he's,
Well,
poor. So but it is
he's far
disparate.
from poor.
Yeah, it's disparate. It's a big thing. So I like that because that's ultimately that's how you change social norms is you have more things like that and then it just
Mhm.
becomes normal. So in general, and this is probably a long time for me in the making. In general, I think couples fight over or experience kind of the tensions that we're talking about in their relationship for four reasons: money, family, chores, labor distribution, and sex. So if you took your marriage or my marriage and you broke down all the fights, which we don't fight that much or anything, there's not that tension after a long time. But if you were to break it down, it would probably get into one of those categories.
Yeah, sounds right.
Okay. So, you know, you can do this, and this is one of these things about money. It's interesting. Women will at well, we might be dead, but women at one point will make more money than men. That will happen. I hope it will happen. I hope it happens soon, but it'll happen. Will men do things differently? Will women do things differently? And I don't know. I don't have a yes or a no to this, but the go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like people should stop getting paid to do stupid fucking reports.
Well,
Not
well,
not
that
a
aside, that aside,
yeah.
the thing is pay in equity, not in the business yet. I'll get to that, but
Yeah.
in couples, which again, what happens at home happens at work. You know what I'm saying? There's not a switch where you just like, okay, I'm now at work. I'm not going to think about my wife or the tensions that we might have.
Mm.
So we should care about it as employers on some level because it's going to show up at work. So there's that. Now, the research and results made me think, how do modern couples view money? Do you manage money separately or in one pot? So I'll just ask you this question. Do y'all have a separate situation? Like you have a bank account, she has a bank account, dot, 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 or is it one?
No, it's all one.
Okay. Okay. Do you keep track of who spends what?
Nope.
Like you spent $300 on fishing stuff, she spent,
Mm.
okay. Do you have separate bills?
No.
Do you, right? So the thing is a lot of couples do that. A lot of couples have separate.
Hmm.
And I've never believed in that concept because I think separate leads to separation.
Yeah, I'm not. It doesn't make any sense. You're married. I mean, like your wife
It's
doesn't pay the mortgage and you don't pay the car bill. I mean, you just
I,
pay the fucking bills.
but I'm fascinated by those that are successful in keeping things separate, you know.
Mm.
So I think okay. So now let's get to the work part of this. Why I think that there's something to talk about there. So do employers have a role in the tensions that happen at home, especially this one? Right? Either through marriage counseling as an example, as an app or technology or as an EAP, do they have a bit that says, okay, how do we help Bob or Janet? How do we help them be more productive? And is this a concern? Is this something we should meddle with, or that's their home? We're not in that or, at
Well,
all.
I think it's their home.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, employers can offer benefits or programs to help, but I don't think the employer, I don't want my employer getting involved. I mean, if they have a benefit
I think
to
I'm with
for
you.
me to take advantage of, yes, that's totally fine, but I
I
don't
want
need them
I
meddling
want
with me.
tech actually, as a marriage counseling app. I want access to that
Mhm.
as you said, as a benefit.
Yeah,
I just want access to that. Just
yeah,
pay for that, and if I need it, I know I got it there.
yeah.
And if I don't need it,
Yeah, no,
then
I
don't
kind
use
of
it.
what I don't like at all is when tech companies or vendors come in and they say, you know, you really need to care about your employees' family life, and this is what you need to do, and they try to sell. It just, I don't know, man. It's just not my thing. I get it, like financial wellness, sure. It carries over into like I understand this stuff carries over into work,
Right.
but there's a line, right? Employer stops here. We can offer the benefit, but I don't need to know anything else. And I don't know. It's just a murky,
Yeah.
you know.
I think the feedback we'll get is people that are either the pot and all the money goes in the pot, or they do it separately.
Right,
And also, is this something work should even think about or care about?
right,
So I think that's fascinating. Okay.
right.
So,
All
how
right.
about
Well,
yourself?
there you go. All right. So, I got one here. I got an acquisition I want to talk about.
Hmm,
So Zoom acquired BrightHire,
I saw that.
and yeah, and it's a really interesting one. So BrightHire, but back in COVID time, this is like a COVID deal.
Right.
BrightHire was founded back in 2019 by a guy named Ben Sesser. I never talked with Theodore as co-founder, but Ben, I got to speak with back when they kicked off. We were doing other things at the time, and I got to run through the tech with them,
Oh, cool.
which is really cool. So back in 2020, they took a seed round, and that's when I was introduced to Ben. So we got to talk. So at the time, they were building just an interview intelligence platform,
Right.
basically just to record, transcribe, analyze interviews, and provide the information. We weren't at the recommendation stages yet. We were pretty basic in all of this. Well, since then, dude, they've crushed it, right? So total funding, not that funding means crush, but their total funding was they ended up at 36 million over a couple of rounds, and their Series B included Zoom, which
Zoom
ultimately what they
Ventures.
required,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, Zoom Ventures. So this is something that Zoom had an interest in back in
Yeah.
2021. They knew they kind of had something in what was happening, and they hedged the bet, and ultimately it worked out for them. So we've seen this migration to collaboration platforms taking center stage. We advise a company, different situation, different type of communications, but it's a comms play, sync to hire. So shout out to Brian Sherlock. What's up? This is different though. This is an interview platform, soup to nuts. The whole, which what's the soup to nuts? I wanted to ask you this.
What's
Soup
the
to nuts.
origin of that?
Yeah, I need. I
No
got it.
idea.
I got to
There's
look
got to
into
be
it.
a way.
Like soup
There's
nuts. Like it doesn't line up for me. I don't know. I
only
said
thing
it
I
and
can
I'm
think
like,
is there was a table at one point with all a lot of food, and someone's like
and
A to
from
B,
from
and
A to
someone said
Z with
from
Amazon.
soup to
Yeah,
nuts.
I don't know. So anyway, all the things that we expect in our interview platform. So transcriptions, notes, intelligence,
Mm.
guidance, recommendations. And this thing is good. Like BrightHire is really, really good. Got to see the demo, the updated demo. Let's say last year in the spring. I think it was in the spring. But it's good. It's accurate and it's really pretty. They don't like really good. Not that I judge software by prettiness, but
Yeah.
some people do, right? Like that's a thing. Zoom, on the other hand, and this is kind of my thought here. Zoom, you know what? Eh, No other way to say this. Their transcription was not good.
Yeah. No,
It
it
sucks. It's
was
bad,
not.
at least
Yeah.
for me, right? And so I stopped using it a long time ago because I just kind of like Google Chat or Google Meet better for what we do.
Right.
It's easier for us to use and to get out. Um,
And free.
well, not free, but you can use it for free. Yes. I stopped using it. I can't guess the number of companies, independent recruiters though, that are using this
Mm.
10 times a day, using Zoom 10 times a day
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
run their interviews, right? We used to use Skype, or not like cue up the Skype sound.
Zoom. Join me.
Join me,
Uber.
yeah, yeah.
Uber.
Uber,
Uber
Uber
meetings.
conference. Uber
Uber
conference was
conference.
great. Did
It was.
the custom music on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so COVID was great to both these companies, man. Zoom webinars, they nailed it. Meetings, killed it. Work from
Yeah.
home,
Yeah.
killed it. Right, like it boomed. But for hiring and interviews, mm,
Yeah.
they weren't quite there for me. So I think this acquisition I think is really really good. It could be good. It could be just blah.
Mm. It'll
My
make it better
I,
for
I,
sure.
it depends on what they do with it. Yeah, I mean, look, Zoom has the money and they've got a ridiculous user base. So when Zoom turns this on and they go deep into it,
Yeah.
assuming they go deep into hiring with this, I think it's going to actually make a difference. They got a massive install base. BrightHire gets immediate access to that, and I know they said they're going to be standalone, remain standalone.
Right.
Assuming that they do, then they have a massive space to just scale. Boom, right there, right? But I think it's going to be both. I don't think they're just gonna. I don't think they're just gonna peel off.
I'm interested in who acquires Zoom because I think it's going to be Microsoft.
Yeah, they need a Skype replacement.
Sorry,
Yeah, and Zoom has become the modern, you know,
it's
yeah,
the default.
yeah. So,
But
but
if they integrate work a part of Zoom
mhm,
and work Vivo and BrightHire into LinkedIn, now you've got some really cool things that you can do
yeah,
because you can apply to a job and all of a sudden you're in LinkedIn. It's like, hey, you want to talk real quick? Yep, button.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you
So
mentioned Work Vivo. We interviewed them back in 2023, I think it was, or no, 24, whatever, it was last year. But Zoom acquired Work Vivo, which
yep.
is an employee experience platform. So we interviewed Giddy, who's their head of marketing. Search it up, cool episode. But look, I like it. They've done well with this. Um, I'm excited to kind of see where it goes from here. But I think for me, the question really is where does this go? Right? Zoom really hasn't flubbed an acquisition. I think they got 9 under their belt. The
Hmm.
last couple have really been work related. So I'm excited to see where this goes, and I just don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna bang this one up.
They took advantage of COVID in all the right ways.
They did.
And I mean, you know what? All these other conference platforms, WebEx, etc., they were all there, but like it's like none of them took advantage like Zoom did. None of them. I mean, they could have. Hell, Google Meet could have taken that, but
Nobody did.
it's like the Q-tip deal, right? When you're talking about video conferencing, we don't say video conferencing. We say Zoom.
Yeah.
So they've become the word that is the category,
Yeah.
which is insane. But I love them. I use Zoom prior to COVID as my default
Mhm.
because I was using it for audio only. I wasn't really using it for video,
Mhm.
ironically. And then when COVID hit, then we turned on our cameras. I'm like, I don't know if I like it as much, but I'm excited. I think it's a wonderful acquisition. I hope
Yeah.
that both of them do really well.
Yeah. I will say I don't like their web app. When someone sends me a meeting and it has Zoom, I'm like, oh, dang. Like
Yeah.
Google's just so much easier and smoother. But I know I think this is going to be good. They don't have a track record of
Right.
blowing up acquisitions. They only have a handful under their belt. Most of them stayed the same. I think there was one. It was I can't remember the name. It was an encryption.
Right.
Right? But they never really went end-to-end encryption on anything, and it kind of just fizzled out.
Yeah. Happens.
But that's it, man.
Happens.
We've
We barfed.
gone through the whole bit. So thank you all for listening. We appreciate it. Go Birds. Dallas sucks. See you next week.
Bye.